All right, what is going up, guys? Welcome to the first episode of the deck journey with our Cursed Blight Precon. I have been very excited to do this series. I'm not normally a Precon guy, but and I honestly wasn't a fan of this deck until it came out, and I got to play a couple games with it. And it's actually a fantastic deck. I've played it 5 times now. I've lost twice, so it's currently 3-2. And so far, I've currently swapped out 15 cards that I kind of wanted to go through, and the 15 that I've cut. There also will be a clip after this one, just showing Jacob and I opening up the precons and kind of our immediate reaction. Just seeing like if any of the cards were misprinted or cut. Going through the deck, actually, I had an extra land. I had 40 lands, which when I look at the deck list, it only had 39. From what I could see, I had an extra forest. I had 8 forests when the deck should have come with 7, I believe. So I cut out 2 lands out of my 2 cards here, so I have 38 lands. So if anyone's following along, and they cut 2 lands and they're at 37, that would be why. So just keep that in mind. I still have all the other cards, so I guess I just came with 101 cards, which is weird, but okay. So this deck is probably something as fun as it is to play, it's very annoying for your opponents to play against. It's basically creature removal deck. Because while you do put counters on your creatures, there's a few cards that just kind of put counters on everything. And this deck is actually insane with card draw, which I love. One of the cards, Thought Vessel, that gives no max hand size, is like necessary because you're just always having 7-8 cards in hand, like way more than that, like turn 3, turn 4. So some of the cards I cut, I actually cut some card draw, which I've never had that problem before. This deck really needs more ramp, and in particular needs more ways to get black sources. So if you look at the deck list, which I've actually got up here, I tailored it a lot. It was very black mana heavy with the mana cost, so I've kind of tailored mine. So 53% of the symbols in the deck, so 53% of all the cards on my deck have a black mana cost, and 55% of my lands make black mana. So I kind of evened out cutting cards that had a high double black, just to kind of make it less reliant on black. I'd played 1 game where I only had green and red mana available, and I basically stalled out. I couldn't do anything, and I had to concede the game, which was one of the losses, all because I had every card in my hand had a black mana symbol, which I could not play. So, which of course I could have mulliganed better, but I didn't really predict it at the time. So, it's just a weakness of the deck, and I guess that could be alleviated with 2 of the cards I cut, like Terramorphic Expanse and Evolving Wilds. But honestly, I'd rather just draw into the untapped basic land than I get deck thinning is a thing, but 1 card out of the deck statistically doesn't it does make a change, but not really enough in 1 game to even notice, I don't think. So yeah, I just ended up cutting those out. Going through the cards I cut, so Eventide Shadow is one I was on the fence about, but I've had this in my hand 3 times now, and I've always had to cut down to hand size. So drawing cards and losing life just seemed like a little bit of a waste and just killing myself. As well as removing counters seems actually way more situational than it sounds like. A lot of my creatures actually want more -1 counters, and I kind of want my opponent's creatures to have the -1 counters. So realistically, it only comes down to eating away my own battles, or eating up someone's planeswalker, or I don't know. I haven't really had the issue with 1/1 counters because this deck is so good at spreading the -1 counters that they don't really get a chance to have other counters I want to eat up. One time I did actually eat up someone's shield counter, which was kind of funny. But other than that, yeah, this card just ended up deciding to cut out. Yeah. Next high mana cost card is Fair for Young Yu. I get he can double the kind of counters on a target creature, but I don't know why he's 7 mana. Like, his effect is just not... Albeit, I haven't actually cast him, so I haven't seen him in play, but I had him in hand, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to cast this guy. Like, it just wasn't a good time, so maybe I didn't get a fair assessment, which is totally fair, but I had other creatures I wanted to play. I actually ended up cutting a board wipe, Black Sun Zenith. I had this come up, and it actually just... I didn't end up playing it. I had an opportunity to board wipe, and it just was way too much mana to kill what I needed to kill. So I ended up deciding to make the cut on that. Archfiend of Ifnir, I want to put this in like so many other decks, and sure, discarding down a hand size, you can end up putting a lot of -1 counters, but it's just not like, I didn't want to change up the deck and really build around it. I kind of, yeah, so this is going somewhere else. As well as Terramorphic Expanse, Evolving Wilds, they were just like the first lands I ended up cutting. I just don't like my lands coming in tapped. And that's about that. I guess it would fix my lack of reliance for black mana, but I just don't like these lands, so I'm just gonna cut them. Harmonize is just... I had drawn it twice, and I still had 7 cards or more in hand, and I just didn't need to cast this, so I just cut down on this one. I swapped on this one for Ramp. Persist, I ended up cutting because there was one time I needed to grab a creature, and the only creature in my graveyard was like Glissa, as well as another legendary creature, and it was useless. And there's another card in the deck that like lets you take 3 creatures out. So honestly, I would swap this for like Animate Dead or Reanimate if you have that. I just don't have an extra copy on hand. They're in other decks. Another card I got rid of is Hoarder's Greed. This one is just very weird with the clashing. And then 4 mana to draw 2, like, is, yeah... No, I didn't like it. Binding of the Old Gods, I didn't really like either. 4 mana for just killing one thing is not cool. And then searching for the forest cards, like, kind of whatever. The Death Touch is, like, kind of whatever. Grave Titan does, like, nothing with the deck, so... Grim Poppet. I cut this one, which I'm on the fence about, because, like... So you kind of have to train yourself with this deck, like, with Anti-Ool out. Basically, anything that says it enters with -1 counters basically says draw this many cards. So it's basically 7 mana, draw 3 cards, and then put another counter on another creature, and you can do that 3 more times and draw 3 more cards. But I don't know, it still doesn't do enough to my liking. Same with Commander Sphere. I swapped that for actual like land ramp that I need. It's just, and drawing the card is this deck needed to cut down on a little bit of the card draw, which I've never had to save for in my life with the deck. Like this deck is crazy with drawing cards. Contagion Clasp, I ended up swapping for Contagion Engine, which is just better, and swapped its Thought Vessel for the Nomax hand size. And then Liliana Deathwielder is just like, I had this in hand, and I'm like, why would I spend 7 mana to put a -1 counter on one creature? Like, or destroy one creature. It just did not seem efficient, and I don't really think it is. So I just want to swap it out for with some better stuff. And speaking of, let's get to some better stuff. So the deck on Moxfield anyways, I think it's US. I play in Canada, so it's probably a bit more. But the deck was like $81 or like $87. Now, after my changes, it's at $175, which is a big bump, but honestly, I really like the additions, and I'll just kind of go through them. They were just what I had laying around, which, not trying to flex or anything, that's just what I had. And some of it can still be swapped out. I have another pile of cards that I kind of want to try with the deck that I still have to work in. So we'll see. The deck is pretty liquid right now, as this is a journey. The commander may even switch still, so we'll see how it goes. But the first two cards I wanted to add was Obnoxious. He is pretty obnoxious, but Obnixilis, Captive Kingpin with All Will Be One. These two together, one second. Just a little parched. So Obnixilis kind of works with the commander because she drains for 1 life, which can trigger Obnixilis. But Obnixilis with All Will Be One basically enters into a loop of pinging our opponents infinitely for 1 damage, and then we can just keep trying to exile the top of our library, and we will not die from that because we're not drawing cards. If our opponent in response makes us draw cards, then we would die for sure. But I'll go out drawing cards. I'll die doing what I love doing, so that is fine with me. And then running All Will Be One actually opens up another combo here with Withering Torment, or sorry, Everlasting Torment, which comes with the deck, which means all damage is dealt as though it had Wither. So what happens is you put a -1 counter on another creature of your opponent's. When you do that, All Will Be One can then ping a creature, which will then give it another -1 counter, which will then trigger All Will Be One to give it another damage, which requires a form of a -1 counter, and then you just essentially keep locking the board down for your opponents. It's actually really nasty. I haven't got it off yet because people keep killing this, but it makes the deck a lot scarier because Anti-Ul is kind of monolithic. Like, you kind of need her on the field to make everything really lethal. Otherwise, you're just having a bunch of small creatures, like making everything else small and not really progressing. Having these cards in here gives the opponents another threat to think about, and then kind of takes some of the heat off of the commander as well. So I really like these cards in the deck. It honestly feels really at home with it. So I'm going to keep running it for a bit, and yeah, that's all I have to say on that. So for some ramp, I threw in Tempt with Discovery, which is one of the first cards I throw in because, again, I play with up to 8 players in my pod. So this is essentially 4 mana ramp up to 8 lands, which is just crazy. If you get this like on curve, usually everyone takes it. Later on, it's not too good, but it's just so explosive. Going from 4 up to potentially 12 mana is like insane, and I will take that ceiling every time on the card. I do run Clifftop Lookout just because it can get me any land off the top as well, which can be kind of a downside being random, but you gotta live a little, right? But it does have a 2 toughness body, so you can start blighting it. This with the guy on the end step that you can blight 1, or like with the 3 mana sorcery where you can blight a creature. Like, it's just another body to blight, and I find this deck just needed more early bodies. So he kind of solved that problem as well. Thought Vessel solves the problem of the no max hand size. I might add Reliquary Tower as well, but just running the colorless makes me kind of nervous with how heavy into black and potentially red this deck is as well. It's like 40% green too, so I don't know. It does have a really low curve. Like, it's a mana value of the deck is 2.07, so it's quite low. I also added Cultivate after the as kind of a response to not drawing into any swamps or lands with black mana value production. So if I had to Cultivate my hand, I would have actually progressed. As well as Open the Way. Open the Way is just crazy, and you can only put X into the mana value equal to the number of players. So since I play with bigger pods, I can have a bigger X value. So being able to go Open the Way for like 6 or 7 is just really crazy. But I would argue at that point, you might as well just play like Boundless Realms or something, Traverse the Outlands. So I don't know if it's actually correct to play, but it's kind of fun. So I like it. As for some instance, because the deck has a lot of sorceries, like easily over 10 sorceries. How many do we have here? We got 13 sorceries, so it doesn't play at instant speed a lot. So I tried to increase that or make it more meaningful. So I added Heroic Intervention just as like it can protect the commander or the whole board potentially. And then just kind of make my opponent's board wipes into our one-sided board wipes. And then Fog is just a classic. Like if I had to pick an instant to add to a deck, like Fog just gives you essentially just an extra turn and can help you actually win games by just your opponent thinks they got it and they tap out and you just got them on the swing back. So I really like that as well. Obelisk Spider seems like a card that should have come with the deck. It's a 1/4 reach. When it deals combat damage to a creature, it puts a -1 counter on that creature. And whenever you put one or more negative counters on a creature, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. So it helps kind of push a little more aggression and it kind of gives you life gain. So this deck just fills a lot of roles, or sorry, this card fills a lot of roles. And I feel like this card should have come with the deck. So I mentioned it earlier, but Contagion Engine, I haven't got to play it yet, but you can either put it on your own creatures and draw a bunch of cards or just like drain someone for a bunch. But the double proliferate is kind of interesting. It makes me almost want to throw in like 1 or 2 more planeswalkers just because if I do want to build around proliferating, you can kind of abuse that a little more. This deck has a very good time at killing creatures, but a very hard time at killing things that aren't creatures. So I'm trying Fade from History because it just board wipes all the artifacts and enchantments. I wish it was one-sided because we do have like All Will Be One, Contagion Engine, like a lot of good artifacts and enchantments that we want to keep out. So this is kind of a last resort, and I don't know if I want to keep this. This might be more of like Tranquil Domain where I just specifically kill enchantments, but I don't know, man. There's just too many. Like when you've got 6+ people and everyone's got like 2 mana rocks, a fucking enchantment that's making angels or like tokens or something, like you gotta just like, it's 4 mana, just kill everything. It's too good. As well as a card that is very good. It's underrated. A little bit of lore, actually. Me and Jacob recorded a video for an hour going over 5 underrated cards we thought that should be in more decks. And unfortunately, it had no audio, so we didn't end up using it. But one of the cards that I talked about that I throw in almost any green deck is Over the Edge. It's a common from the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and you can either destroy an artifact or enchantment, or have the creature you control explore, then explore again. So it kind of solves that problem I was looking at, and it kind of mills too, or like kind of ramps too a little bit. So it's quite a nice card, and every time it's in my hand, it always has a use. Like I wish I had more copies of this because it's always usable. It's a really nice card. It should be in more decks. And then the last edition is a revive card from the graveyard. I'm torn between this or Noxious Revival. Actually, in the comments, what do you guys think's better, the Noxious Revival or Revive the Shire? I do really value the 1 mana value of Noxious Revival. I like that it hits any graveyard, but I like that Revive the Shire, even though it is sorcery, makes me a food for life gain, which is important in the lower bracket pods. And it returns a permanent, which specifically is my combo pieces like Captive Kingpin, All Will Be One, any of the 3-card combo that comes with the precon. So this hits everything I kind of want. Ideally, maybe I should play 2, like get both of them, but let me know in the comments because, you know, if I'm looking at it through my perspective, which as unbiased as I try to be, I do have my favorites, and there are probably cards that you're like, I would not run that. So just let me know, but just don't be too mean about it. But that's really about it. So I'll try to keep the channel updated with my progress on the deck, how it's going. Try and keep like a win-loss measure to just kind of track the performance, give me something to do. I'm a little bit of a stat tracker, so I have fun with that. The deck list will be in the description, but it's honestly, outside of the 15 cards, it's exactly the same. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm actually really looking forward to the Strixhaven precons. Our group is going to go group buy on it. I think I'm going to get the Simic one, so that's going to be quite fun. But yeah, if you guys have this precon, let me know what kind of cards you've added or cards that you feel like are just really nuts with the deck. I would love anyone's input. And yeah, I really appreciate everyone's time for watching the video. Have a great day and stay up to date for more videos. I try to do every Friday or Saturday. I'll try to do every week or every other week. We'll see how it goes, but yeah.
1080p is fine, you know.
All right.
Welcome
to our deck journey. This is also safe measures if in case any of our decks are messed up.
Yeah, because Whirlwind Eclipsed Commander decks have been seeing a lot of misprints recently.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Become a chromatic aberration. Can do.
Give Auntie a kiss.
Oh god. They had to make one deck cringy, did they?
So yeah, no booster pack, right? Just
no collector sample packs.
Nothing.
And there it is. Mein Gott, she's
I've
beautiful.
seen people playing her in competitive already.
Okay. And then the deck lists are easily available online, so we can just double check and make sure if we feel weird about it.
Yeah, I'm not making a Moxfield deck list or anything yet, because it's basically just copy and pasting.
Yeah, it's just the precon. Until you make major improvements, you're going to be like, yeah, here's a Moxfield list, but...
I'll even use the precon stamps today.
Until then...
Doesn't come with anything else.
I'm just going to move this.
People are going to be triggered with how I'm opening this, but whatever.
You can just... Oh, that works too.
And it's got infect.
Yeah, it's got that punch-out plate.
Oh, right. Well, I said it in a failed video, but for people that don't know, we play Commanders face down, so I'm going Metal Greymon for anti-Ool. Oh, that looks nice.
Massive Mysteries, that's pretty. Elemental Spectacle, Springwave Parade. Just looking through. The cards look fine.
You'll have to count, make sure there's like actually 100 there.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 new cards.
I don't order
12.
Open up enough precons to have the finesse.
Cavalier, Green Warden, Sylvala, Titan, Voltrotha, Omnath, Yarok, Omnath. 2 different Omnaths, by the way. I know I said Omnath twice, but...
You got your Maelstrom on her?
I've not seen him yet. Maybe he's later in the deck.
How did you open that?
There's a pull tab. You'll kind of see it in the Port of Notions. There's the Maelstrom.
Oh, there we go.
Wait a second. I'm kind of going through this fast because things look like business as usual.
-1 times 5. They expect you to get 5 that many times. Anti-Ool. And the Reaper King. Wickersmith's Tools.
That looks like it's an underrated card, honestly.
Mr. Gnarlback.
Shimmer Creep.
Eventide Shadow.
Courtyard.
So 10 cards.
Soul Ring, Command Tower, Signet,
7.
Soul Stoke.
Off-Nab Goat. This thing's actually going to be crazy, I think.
Off-Nab Goat is so
yeah. Calvin, listen to this card. It's a 2 mana 0/5 Goat. You can pay 1 mana, draw a card, gain control of this, and put a -1 counter on it. Only your opponents may activate this. And when this creature dies, if it had 1 or more -1 counters on it, its owner draws that many cards, and everyone else lose that much life. So everyone draws 5, and then you get to draw 5, and then burn everyone for 5.
That actually sounds alright.
Alrighty, now for the final counts.
Is this the gob?
Like, because I've looked at this deck list a ton. It looks like everything is here.
I'll make
It
sure.
lets you draw equal to the counters on it.
Yeah, when it died.
Kill it with the final shot and it puts like
4,
4
5,
extra
6,
counters on it. You can end up drawing like 8 cards instead of 5.
That's a nasty idea, actually.
1, 2,
This deck does come with a built-in combo. I think there's like 2 cards. Is it 2 or 3 card?
It's a
combo?
3-card
Wasn't
infinite
surprised.
combo.
With minus
2,
counters, I'm like, there's probably
3,
some
4,
stupid
5, 6,
persist
7,
infinite
8,
combo
9,
in
10.
there.
Yeah, it's what is it? Hot? No,
It's a 3-card combo, and it's all in the 99, so it's not a guarantee he'll get it, right?
what is it? Blowfly Manifestation.
Blowfly
and
Infestation is
then
one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8,
Flourishing
9,
Defenses. So whenever you put a -1
2,
counter on a
3, 4,
creature,
5, 6, 7.
or just whenever a -1 counter is put on a creature, I make a 1/1 elf.
4, 5, 6,
And
7,
then with the
8, 9,
Blowfly, whenever a creature dies, if it had a
10.
-1
2,
counter on
3,
it, put
4,
another
5,
-1
6,
counter on a
7, 8,
creature.
9, 10.
So you kill your like elf, make another elf or something, and then just keep making. And I think it's got Blood Artist in here too, so you can like do that and drain everyone. Oh, the Soul Ring looks cool.
That's not right.
What's wrong?
I count 99.
Uh-oh.
That's not good.
Devoted Druid. Oh.
That better just be a missing basic. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll just do this.
Colruyt Knight.
2,
Oh, now you got me nervous.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 2. Maybe I just fucked up the count. I'm just making sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I got 100. Pretty confident.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stack here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I just miscounted somewhere. I can't put 11 on a pile by mistake.
I found the fastest way to count is you go like up to 10, and then for each 10 you start back at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
20.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2.
Yeah, I've done that before, but I
I
fucked.
count every day at work
Yeah.
when I'm doing my open cash and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, with cards, I fucked that up.